Is there a giant alien sleeping in Earth's core? Perhaps not, but entertain this thought. Suppose that in the future this is the only surviving idea, and so shapes all belief. Better yet, let us say since beginning of humans, this is the central idea and that there are no other competing theories, and for the entire history of humans, they have believed some form of this, that there is a giant alien sleeping in Earth's core. We might expect multiple schools of thought to emerge. Some will say that the alien is evil, others say it is purely good. One school concludes that the alien is neutral, merely passing the time, unaffecting of worldly affairs. Another school proposes that the alien's dreams shape the world. Still more beliefs emerge, that the alien must not be disturbed by wrongdoings, lest it shifts in its sleep causing storms and earthquakes, tsunamis and volcanic eruptions. Philosophers will debate the nature of such an alien. Artists will paint what they imagine the alien does in its slumber, and poets will sing of its stories. Scientists would explore its existence, conducting tests to prove or disprove the alien. Some might question if the alien ever wakes up, if the sun and moon have a giant alien sleeping in their cores as well. Does every star and every planet in the universe have an alien sleeping in their core? Can these aliens share dreams, communicate? What is the extent of their influence on the world, of the forces of nature? When we sleep, do we glimpse the alien's dreams? Did the alien exist before the Earth formed or after? Did it fall asleep in space and so become the nucleus from which a planet could form? Are stars simply planets whose alien has grown so large, and their dreams so powerful that the whole thing lights ablaze? Is it even an alien? Could it be something else entirely? And some will say that the alien does not exist, that there is no good way to prove it, that it's a fantasy, a tale. And yet, because the entire world operates within this framework, this picture, that disbelief is in contrast to the collective prototype. To say, I do not believe in the giant alien sleeping in Earth's core, is to take the picture and cut out the image, leaving only the outside bits. But even this outlines the picture, silhouettes it, of this, the sleeping alien. In a different case, it is God. Whether it's science or religion, the axis of approach orbits this concept of God or creator. The whole of all ideas is through this filter, this frame of reference. Now this picture of God may be colored or traced differently, or it may be actively disbelieved, but still it is the same page. Even if the image is removed, that a picture was there on the page is obvious, and the world, using this page, believes it is the only page, God or not God. The assumption is one or the other, or some different complex arrangement of yes and no, as if it were plotted on an XY graph. This lens is used to see everything. The goal ends up being utopia, how to make paradise on earth, and this is true for science or religion. They run parallel towards the same end, just the approach is different. Similar ambitions, but often opposite means. The horizon they move towards is utopia, which means the big questions must be asked, defined, answered. Therefore, the ultimate being must exist, or not exist. One or the other, they run on parallel tracks. But it could have been a giant sleeping alien in the Earth's core. It could have been an inside-out cube ominously floating in the blue. Just because things happen to be this way does not mean that it is the only way. It is through a history of development and revelation that the framework is what it is. Doesn't mean it's right, and true enough, doesn't mean it's wrong. That approach is the problem though, right or wrong. When everyone uses rose-colored glasses, everything looks red, and the world is almost rosy because of it. The difficult part is saying that there are other lenses, other pages with images so far different than the one that happened to be. And one might argue that, more or less, the best one was selected, that the quest for utopia is the most noble, to make it all rosy for everyone. Maybe I just don't want to go that way. You can break the things that are good. There is not any goodness that makes them immune to breaking. Yet we revere them, keep all that's good, and one day only the good will remain, and finally we will have our utopian civilization. It could have been anything. We could have soared. How would you raise a phoenix, knowing it cannot die, knowing it will outlive you? Would you neglect it, preserving your own precious time? Would you torture it, seeking to break its soul and for yourself try to taste immortality? What would you do to reach this utopia, for the world which cannot die, which will outlive you? And now who is dreaming? You with your utopian ideals, or the giant alien sleeping in Earth's core?